layered on top of that is that, so normally like in a fighting game, you kind of think, okay, SubZero, he's a good match for Raiden, and Raiden is a good matchup for, Johnny Cage. This really kind of layers it even deeper, where like, version A of SubZero might be a good match for version C of Scorpion, and adds a lot more variables to the whole mix of the kind of like the palette of what the player has to use.
Who is this new character?
His name is Kotal, and he's kind of like, this Aztec warrior. Ferra Torr is kind of like a big hulking creature with a little lady who he takes commands from, but also uses as a weapon. So he can throw her, and he can, do combos with her in the middle of the game. So you're going to see he's got a pretty cool combo here.
Surely nice. Surely someone on the team is a fan of Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, because I get a Master Blaster vibe.
So like when she gets knocked off, she has to run and kind of jump back on her shoulder. So there's a little period of time when you don't have those particular moves, and so it's Ferra Torr is one of our most unique and diverse characters that we've had in the game. See the old lady there, standing there. You can actually pick her up and throw her at the opponent there as well.
She's fallen and she can't get up by the way.
Yeah, she's done. She's done.
Again, this map looks beautiful. What's this one called?
Yeah. This is called the Outworld Marketplace, and we're as excited as we are about these. This is a great X-ray move.
Nice.
As excited as we are about these, environments and the graphics, we really kind of feel like that's the entry point, with next gen and all that. We really wanted to add something new to the gameplay.
Oh, it's brutal.
You can jump off the tiger that's laying there too. You'll see.
Were the X-rays introduced in the last Mortal Kombat?
Yes.
It's good to see them back.
Yeah, one of the things that really worked well with Mortal Kombat 9, which was 2011 Mortal Kombat, is we had this meter that let you enhance your special moves, do breakers, and do the X-ray moves, and that was received really well. So our strategy with the gameplay was to kind of layer on top of that the variations of the characters, and so we really feel like there's just a really deep mechanic we have in there.
Very nice. Subtle. Very subtle.
Yeah. So yeah, at its heart, we have so many new elements, but at its heart, it's still Mortal Kombat. We're really
pun intended.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and we're adding a lot of new blood to the characters.
Nice, very good, very good.
There, so.
All right, who are we gonna see a couple old favorites here?
Yeah, we can show you Scorpion and SubZero for people who are familiar with those two characters.
This level is called the Snow Forest.
Yeah, this is Snow Forest. We've had forests in Mortal Kombat in some ways. This one is a good example of some of the leveraging that you can do, like in combination. What's cool too is the characters. All the characters acknowledge the other fighter. They all talk to each other in the beginning, so it's like this little conversation, and it really adds like a nice little nuance to the mechanic. So you're going to notice this. The tree branch is hanging over there. You can actually jump and grab that branch, swinging it over, kind of getting like momentum with leverage there. You can throw the log over, and on the left there's a tree stump that you can kind of like long jump off of. See him jump off the thing.
Yeah.
You can grab this tree branch here and hit you with it. There you go.
Nice.
Very cool. And so this, one thing to keep in mind is visually every one of these variations of characters, they have their own part of their costume that kind of identifies them. The Scorpion or SubZero, he has this glowing mask, and that shows you that it's kind of like the unbreakable one, the more defensive one that he has there. And Scorpion, his arms are kind of on fire. There are other versions of Scorpion that have different costume elements that are a way to identify, which one it is. He pulls out his entrails there and it stabs him in the eye with it, freezes it.
It's a really good one.
Yeah. I'm not sure if you've seen Scorpion's X-ray too. He's got a.
And Mortal Kombat's one of those games. It's as fun to watch as it is to play.
Yeah,
you cannot say that about every game.
Yeah. It's a lot. It's a great party game too.
Oh. Oh well, it happens.
Yeah, so we're really excited about all the added layers that we've added onto the game.
Yeah.
With these character variations and the environment leveraging.
Well, I wanted to ask. The last Mortal Kombat was very well received. So when it came time to start this one, where did you start from? What was the idea that this is what we want to do with Mortal Kombat X?
Yeah, it was funny. The last Mortal Kombat game, who would have thought that 20 years after the game came out, we'd have the best-selling one.
Yeah.
It sold better than than MK2, MK1,
That's awesome.
all of those things. And so we really got kind of nervous about how you follow something like that up. And so our strategy was really to introduce a bunch of new elements, but also kind of maintain the things that people really embraced with Mortal Kombat 9. So we really feel like it's a new experience. All these new characters are really are really fun to kind of add into the mix of Mortal Kombat. Our story's great. We're going to be it covers different periods of time. One of which is 25 years in the future. So you're going to be seeing older versions of some of the characters, and you see their offspring. And I said, Cassie Cage there is Sonya Blade's daughter. Johnny Cage's daughter. Very cool.
Yeah, in 9 you put a lot of care into the character stories and their cinematics.
Yeah,
Is all that stuff returning for this one?
Oh yeah. That's a huge part of again, one of the things that for 2011 Mortal Kombat that people really embraced was the whole story mode and being able to tell an elaborate cinematic story.
Now, are we seeing different variations for Cassie Cage and Ferra here?
Absolutely. Before you noticed that her hands were kind of glowing.
Right.
This is her Spec Ops variation, whereas Ferra Torr, he doesn't have her on his back in this one. So all those moves that he was using where he was swinging around and throwing her, those are replaced with other unique moves to him. And it's a different, he's way more of an in-your-face brawler type of thing as opposed to a long-range one that's kind of jumping. She can call in, missiles from the special forces and come bombing on the opponent. And again, you have a different strategy when you fight against the Spec Ops version of Cassie Cage than the Hollywood version. So it's really.
Mortal Kombat, there aren't many video game franchises that are still going, 20 years later.
Yeah, like I said,
incredible.
I was just, we were so happy with how people embraced the last one, which came out, close to 20 years to the day of the first one. So it's so cool that people still love it.
What do you think it is that makes it so enduring?
I really think part of it is we're not afraid to change things up, introduce new elements to keep it interesting.
Yeah.
And at the same time, we're maintaining things that kind of the DNA of the game. And there's this nostalgic feel that people have,
that too,
when they just remember themselves in an arcade somewhere or a pizza place, where they first played the game, they first saw the fatality. There's a lot of that combination of nostalgia and new stuff. So.
Uh-oh. I mean, that's part of it too, right?
Yeah, yeah. And then those fatalities. Of course.
It showcases some of the most creative violence, maybe we
Yeah,
could say, in
yeah,
all
yeah.
in all video games.
Yeah.
Ed Boon, when is Mortal Kombat X going to be out?
Right now.